Before ECMAScript 6 was released in June of 2015, for the better part of 2 decades, building a hash map in JavaScript would involve something like this, where we would utilize an object literal within a function, of course, with lots of for loops and what have you, and we would access values inside of the hash map by using the square brackets notation. The module pattern function would look something like this. But what I really want to focus on in this video are the square bracket notation as a value accessor, because I've been seeing the square bracket notation being used as an accessor with the map data structure that was introduced with ES 2015. I started the video by bringing up the legacy JavaScript object literal hash map with bracket notation as an accessor method because we have a 20-year legacy for this pattern. That's 20 years worth of muscle memory. In this function, we have an ES6 map, and this map is used to keep a count of each letter in the input string. And they are using the bracket notation on this hash map as if it were a JavaScript object literal. Now, I have seen this type of programming in both local private code bases as well as in libraries, JavaScript libraries that are distributed in NPM and used by companies of all sizes and shapes around the world, but primarily in the United States. Now, I do not claim to understand the psychology of why people program like this, but nevertheless, this type of coding does exist in the modern code base. The native JavaScript map data structure has these wonderful methods that we can call to get, to clear, so on and so forth. So one could ask oneself what's wrong with using bracket notation with native maps. After all, this function does what it advertises to do. But let's have a closer look as we populate this map. In terms of the function being able to find the character within the target string against the input string is finding the A and returning that within the return array, that part is correct. But let's have a look at the map, which I console log out here. The map size is showing 0. In other words, using the bracket notation syntax on a map is not setting the map correctly. That's why we have a size of 0. We can improve this loop as well. As you can see here, they're using the bracket notation as an accessor for the map down here as well. And as you can see here, I've replaced the bracket notation with the set get native map methods. And then I'm using the notice coalescing operator to maintain a proper count inside of the map. And then I've refactored the for in loop to a for of loop. And I'm using the map.get method down here. I'm running this function inside of the developer console because we can see clearly what's inside the map. So as you can see here, now we are properly setting the correct character map with the correct size. And of course, the function still works. I know, shocking, right? That if we follow the direction within the documentation, that things works like it's supposed to. Well, most of the time it works out like that anyways. Okay, my dear friends, please do all the YouTube things. Please like, subscribe. If you're watching this video on a different platform, please consider following my channel. I also have a Patreon account set up if you want to join. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.